These are the most insane watches worn by presidents of the United States. The last one is the best, I promise you, so keep watching until the end. We have to start this list off with number 10, the man who changed the expectations of being a president and is therefore likely the most famous president ever, Barack Obama. Barack Hussein Obama II was born on August 4th, 1961 in Honolulu. His first name means one who is blessed in Swahili. He's the only president from Hawaii and has had a big influence on America when he was in or out the office.
Cheeseburger and fries.
Obama is not really known as a watch collector, but he still owns a nice watch. The watch I'm talking about is the Or Grey 6500, a chronograph that is everything you need in a watch and more. It's going to cost a shy $500. A nice way to start off, but trust me, it's getting way more expensive later on in the list.
Things are about to get hot. Obama out.
Let's quickly move on to number 9, the best peanut farmer and president of the United States who has ever lived, Jimmy Carter. A very interesting piece that Carter owned was the Vulcan Cricket. The Cricket was nicknamed the President's Watch because one was given to multiple presidents, including Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama. It costs $1,000. Let's hop over to number 8, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan owns a very classy Rolex, but before I tell you, I want to tell you a fun fact about Reagan. Reagan started eating jelly beans in 1967 as he was trying to quit a pipe-smoking habit. He switched to Jelly Bellies a decade later. My man was just eating candy all day when he was a president. What a legend. The Rolex he wore is the Rolex Air King 5500. This is one of the first Air King models and looks completely different than the Air King from nowadays. It looks very similar to a Rolex Oyster Perpetual, and the price is also very similar because it costs around $4,000, a steal if you ask me. Get on board because we are sailing to number 7, the current president of the United States, Joe Biden. Biden used to be vice president for Obama, but he has now evolved to becoming a president himself. He owns a couple cool watches, but one sets the tone for me, and that is his Omega Seamaster. The Omega Seamaster is one of the best diving watches in history, although I don't think Biden will be diving with it if he wanted to. The watch costs a little more than the last watch and sits at a price of around $4,500. I think it's time to up these numbers a bit. Otherwise, you guys will get bored. Oh no! Let's go straight to this billionaire at number 6. Nobody less than Donald Trump. A man loved by many but also hated by just as much. He ran as president from 2017 to 2021 when he got replaced by Biden. Who do you think is the better president, Biden or Trump? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, who doesn't know Trump and who doesn't know he plays golf? He even has his own golf course. While he was playing there, he got spotted wearing a Patek Philippe Ellipse 3738. This watch isn't super popular, even though it's such a timeless piece with very pleasing and not too showy aesthetics. The price sits at around $16,000. That's very cheap compared to his other watch, but you will see that insane watch at the end of the video. NANI? Buckle up your seatbelts because we are going straight to number 5.
I can hear you.
George W. Bush, the son of George H.W. Bush, who was president too. Like father, like son, they say. The watch Bush wears is very underrated. The watch I'm talking about is the Patek Philippe 5130R, aka the World Time. Now, you're wondering what price is this watch? We will not hold you up any longer. The price sits just under 40K, at around 38K. A steal if you ask me. It should be at least 70, but who am I? Not a president, unfortunately.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
On to number 4, Richard Nixon. The man who was offered to go to Harvard, but he declined. What a G. The watch Nixon wears had quite a cool story. Apollo 11, the team who became the first to land on the moon, were wearing an Omega Speedmaster. That's why the Omega Speedmaster is called the Moon Watch. For the 50th anniversary of the Speedmaster, they made a special edition. This Speedmaster has been produced as a limited stock of only 1,014 pieces. This makes it very rare and unique. That's also why this watch still increases in value every year, and now sits at a value of $50,000. We have arrived at our top 3, the big fish of this list. Starting off with Bill Clinton, a president who has done many good things which he will always be remembered for. His wife, Hillary Clinton, ran for president too, but lost against Trump. Otherwise, she would be in the list as well. I think if she knew we would make this list, she would have tried harder to become president. Well, too bad for her, but at least her husband has earned a place in this list, and a high one as well. So that's worth an applause. Everybody knows the Rolexes, the Omegas, the Pateks, or the Audemars Piguet. But not many people know about the brand Lange & Söhne. Lange & Söhne is a watch brand that makes watches of the highest quality you can imagine, and you can see that in the price of their watches. The watch Bill owns is quite a basic one, but there are way more complicated watches that they have to offer. This does not mean that Bill's watch is not a good watch. It's the opposite, actually. The Lange & Söhne Richard Lange pour le mérite. From the outside, it does not look that incredible, but the inside makes up for that. The complexity of this watch is insane. The price is insane as well, and sits at around $90,000. Number 2 is, you won't guess it, Donald Trump again. This man just teleported from the 6th spot to the 2nd. Is Donald Trump an alien? Earlier in the video, I said that Donald Trump has a much more expensive watch, and we have arrived at the moment to show it. He did not even buy this watch himself. He got it gifted from Steve Will Do It. Steve, from the Nelk Boys, who is known for his incredible full send capabilities, gifted the watch to Donald after a podcast. This broke the internet because the watch Steve gave was not a normal watch. It was a Rolex Day-Date reference number 228206, made out of platinum. This watch cost $105,000. But Steve did not give this watch for no reason. The reason he gave it is because he made $500,000 selling t-shirts with a picture of Steve and Donald on it. And to thank Donald, he gave him this watch. What a beautiful story. On to number 1, the last president and therefore also the last watch of this video, John F. Kennedy. Give him a round of applause. Because he is the winner of this week's Watch of the Week, and this is possibly the most special one we have covered so far. The watch I'm talking about is the Omega Ultra Thin, cased in 18 karat gold, containing an incredibly slim 2mm caliber. This Omega was presented to Mr. Kennedy ahead of his election by his close friend Grant Stockdale. The watch had been personalized with an engraving on the case back, stating, President of the United States John F. Kennedy from his friend Grant. This watch was honored by Omega in 2005 when they created a series of just 261 pieces, which were dimensionally identical to the original. The watch was worn by Mr. Kennedy to his inauguration ceremony, featuring prominently in one of the most iconic images of the evening, published by Life magazine. After the tragic death of JFK, the watch was submitted for auction with Guernseys in New York City, where it was ultimately acquired by the Omega Museum for the astonishing sum of $350,000. To this day, you can still visit the museum and look at the watch. What a story this watch has, and what a price tag as well. A well-deserved number 1 place in the list. And if you like number 1, you should watch this video about Formula 1. So what are you waiting for? Just click it, but not before you subscribe. The reason he gave it is because he made $500,000 selling t-shirts.